The night we arrived here, you had a dream.
I saw the Lake of Tears. It was a drawing on the wall, but somebody screamed because the spider came down from the ceiling.
Lake of Tears?
It's here, and I need you to find it.
In this video I want to try to answer one of the biggest questions right now. What is the Lake of Tears? Now that we have a confirmation from Jim's spirit that this is actually a real place, a real location that is possible to be found, and Ethan is going to be on a quest to find this location, I think it's a very good time to revisit everything that we know about this story, about Norman, about the Lake of Tears, and see if we can reach some conclusions today. Maybe even actually get some answers, like what is this place, how it works, and what eventually will probably happen to our heroes. I think it's gonna be a very interesting video for you if you're really into From, so let's start. So as usual, From brings us some new answers, and with it usually come some new questions. Like, for example, how it's even possible that something that was probably invented by Ethan, or maybe in one of his stories like Norman and the Lake of Tears, is actually in this place, is actually real, and it probably has a very big significance in the history of this location.
The fairies are coming from the Lake of Tears, right? They're gonna make him better.
The second question is, if Jim is spirit, like a ghost of some sort, how is it even possible that Ethan can give him a hug, can feel his father next to him, like his physical presence? And this is also kinda extends to the same situation, a similar situation when Julie was story walking in the end of season 3 and her real body was actually convulsing on the ground in the ruins, but for some reason Jim was still able to hold her and to push her away from the man in yellow. So right away for me it's already pretty weird. I mean, are you a spirit or are you here physically with us? So I actually want to start from the very beginning, and if we trust the boy in white and his words and what he said to Christopher, the very beginning is the sacrifice of the Ankui children.
The answers to the end are at the beginning. And when the children laid on the stones, they poured their hope into the roots that make the symbol, and those roots became the tree.
I swear to God, at this point of my life, you can wake me up at 3 AM and I will be able to recite those words by memory. They were born in the dark and they were murdered in the dark. They were betrayed by somebody who they trusted, by somebody who loved them, told them a story, and this story gave them hope. And they used that hope and they poured this hope into the roots of the tree, and it created the teleport tree, which probably created also this whole connection of this forest and this location. Now, if you have seen in the previous episode, Jade was drawing the same symbol as usual, but he kind of drew it very similar to the merry-go-round, and we know that the children in this place used to, play a lot on the merry-go-round. So yeah, it is quite possible that the children that love to play and they were thinking about something good that gives them hope, and they were probably remembering some good memories that they're fond of them. One of them is probably them playing on the merry-go-round, like Miranda used to draw them. And because of that, this symbol was trying to resemble like the merry-go-round when you look at it from upside down. Maybe it's just a possibility here, I'm not 100% convinced, but it still raises a question. Okay, their suffering and their hope created this place, and their maybe, I don't know, memories created some metaphysical aspects of this place. But then again, why this place is still locked? What is it? How is it even possible that it works like this? That there are people that can reach it from different points of the country and still end up in the same place. What actually happened here, that there are spirits here that can be for some reason physically touched, and there are actually real people that didn't die, so it's not a purgatory. You need to actually die to get to the purgatory, and everybody here is actually alive, and it was also confirmed by the creators.
It's not purgatory. And it's not a dream.
No, actually in one of my big videos I already explained what I think happened during the sacrifice, so I'm just gonna use it again. It's a pretty good explanation, I don't see any reason to change it somehow. So, at some point Ankui children are being sacrificed. They are here, they are in this area. This is the spirit world, inside here are the spirits. and the Ankui children, they are on the living world. They are somewhere here in this area, okay? So they are dying and their spirits are screaming, Ankui, Ankui, remember me, you motherfucker, or I will curse you to the end of the world. So their spirits is basically transferring like here to this place. This is the transformation that is going on. But through the magical process of sacrifice, which, as we spoke about in lore, it's always an event imbued with magic and it's powerful and usually has a lot of effect, suddenly something happens. They have to stay, they have a grasp on this place. So they create a different, like a layer here. It's a small one, but it's a combination between the metaphysical and the mystical. Now, because it's between the spiritual world and the real world, you don't really need to die in order to get there. You just need to be very suitable for this play. This will also explain how all of our heroes can enter this place from a very different locations, but almost always get up in the same place. They always end up in the same location. So yeah, when Ankui children were dying, they kind of got stuck between the spirit world and the real world. Because they demanded to be remembered, they were not able to go to the next place. Maybe even it was because this dark entity, whoever this is, the man in yellow or somebody above him, they used those souls, the souls of the children that like to play and like games, as a source of power, as a battery for this immortality that was given to the people that betrayed them, the monsters, the Fromvis as we know them.
I like this game.
But I want to play!
Maybe this is why the monsters actually really like to play. Maybe this is why they have this behavior of children. It's because they are actually feeding on their souls. This is their source of the power that they have. This is why they are immortal. So their consciousness is intertwined with the Ankui children, with this kid's spirit of playing around, but without any morality of some sorts. So in some way it already kind of explains this weird situation where you have spirits that have physical form and you have real people that can talk to those spirits. I mean, in real world, in our world, you need either to take some very powerful, you know what, like Miranda and Henry, to hear some voices from the spiritual world, or you need to be a very special person that can be tuned to this, you know, this frequency of the spirits. As Fatima put it when she was talking to Elgin.
This one girl, Nadia, she used to say that it was like this place was calling out to us, but only some of us were listening closely enough to hear it.
Now actually at this moment I want to invite you to remember the words of Jade in the end of season 3 about the first law of thermodynamics.
Of thermodynamics is that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change from one form to another. And our thoughts, our memories, our souls, they're made of energy. And that energy, maybe here, that energy, I don't know, maybe it lingers.
And now, in the previous episode, we have the man in yellow in the form of Sophia is kind of confirming that they're here somehow. Everybody who died, something is left here. They're still here.
There's a part of them that's still here.
So if the spirits, if everybody who dies here actually lingers, like their soul is not moving to the next phase, wherever this phase is, as we remember Tilly's words about this place, and
you start to wonder how it could be anything but the beginning of some grand adventure, or maybe it's the middle. I don't think it's the end.
The whole reincarnation and everything else, like some spirits can actually leave this place and to be reincarnated, but everybody else is staying here, like Father Katri, Bartender Tom, Abby, Boyd's wife, and apparently now Jim. So where they are staying?
Lake of Tears?
It's here, and I need you to find it.
Now, honestly, it's not a very innovative idea to present a body of water as some sort of a gateway between the spiritual world and our world. Romans used to do this with Lake Avernus. They thought this is the way to, to the death. And Irish used to believe that the House of Dawn, the god that was actually welcoming all of the dead, was under Ball Island of the Bear Peninsula. And by the way, they also believed that to him returned all the people except the ones that died very, very happy. Now, in Fromville, nobody dies very happy. Nobody here dies naturally, right? Everybody here is being ripped to pieces, everybody here is being killed. So every soul that it's been lingering in this place, as Jade put it and the man in yellow put it, they're actually a soul with tears. So I think that this curse that was created by the Ankui children and whatever entity that gave immortality to the ones that sacrificed them is somehow blocked this lake of tears. The souls are there, they're crying, they have tears, they want to move on to the next phase, but they cannot do it. What is stopping them? Probably the man in yellow or any other form that is being controlled in this place, this evil entity that actually started everything by promising immortality for the sacrifice of the children. What can it be? And here, once again, I want to remind you what Ethan was saying in his first vision.
But somebody screamed because the spider came down from the ceiling.
But somebody screamed because the spider came down from the ceiling. So the spider... Well, yeah, once again, if we're taking Greek mythology, threads is the soul of human being and threads can be somehow connected to spiders, but then again it feels a little bit like a stretch. But still, we have seen a lot of spider webs in the end of season 1, and it looked like a location where some souls are being kept. I mean, Boyd saw their Abby, and after this encounter, he was getting visions of her. She was visiting him and telling him not very motivating things. Now I actually want to read you about something that's called JOROGUMO. JOROGUMO is a type of yokai. It's a creature of Japanese folklore. It can shape-shift into a beautiful woman. So the kanji that represent its actual meaning, woman spider. And actually in some myth, this woman spider is not exactly the spider, but she is controlling small fire spiders that their bite is pretty harmful. So the Ankui children, with their demand to be remembered, didn't move to the next phase after their death. Because of that, this weird place that is kind of based on the metaphysical logic of merry-go-round and another couple of things is created those monsters that like to play and this closed location that you cannot leave and you will always be going in circles. Because of that, the spirits of the people that die here and destined to repeat the same story over and over again are actually linger in this place and cannot move on. Some of them can possibly reach the boy in white, the good spirit of this place that was created of the sacrifice of the innocence of the Ankui children when they were killed on those ritual stones. And he gives them an opportunity to come and visit sometimes and actually help our heroes, like Father Katri, Bartender Tom, and now Jim. But some spirits, especially the ones that were pretty sinful in their life and did some horrible things, like Abby Stevens, Boyd's wife, actually get entrapped by the spiders, you know, in the webs, and they are actually being controlled by them and being forced to do some evil things, like going back to their husband and saying some very unmotivating things to him, even though luckily he didn't listen. But it still doesn't answer the question that Boyd was asking: how do you save somebody who's been dead for centuries already, the Ankui children? And what is actually this place, this lake of tears? And once again, I want to remind you that we have kind of different locations that can be already similar to the Lake of Tears. I mean, we have the lake next to the village that was discovered in the end of season, sorry, in the beginning of season 3. We have Brundles and we have the lighthouse. I mean, the lighthouse is supposed to be standing next to the water, but no water there. I mean, I don't need to remind you, you know that by yourself. It's just forest and forest. Where is the water? And I actually want to read you once again something about Brundles, or actually about Brundle. Brundle or Brundle may derive from Old English place name roots meaning something like a remote nook of land, possibly marsh adjacent land. That kind of made me think associatively that maybe, you know, Brundles, the small location of water, and the lighthouse and the lake next to to the village, maybe all of them supposed to be a part of one big location, and since it was kind of shattered and scattered around the land, there is something central right now that needs to be found, and there, I don't know what needs to be done, but probably something that was done by Norman. I mean, I really think and I really hope that Ethan is correct in this situation.
The fairies are coming from the Lake of Tears, right? They're gonna make him better.
Norman really had to go to the Lake of Tears to save somebody. This was his quest, and this is the quest that Ethan needs to repeat.
I think it's probably a quest, like a hero's quest. like Norman had to go onto the Lake of Tears, we probably have to save somebody if we want to go home. That's what Norman had to do.
No, I don't think that Ethan is a story walker and he's the one who's gonna create this story that will eventually make this place. It's gonna be a causal loop paradox, maybe it's something that's gonna happen in From, but I kinda wish it's not, because it's probably gonna steal away all the focus from all other themes of this show, which is history and a lot of interesting story aspects. I don't want this show to be a time travel show. It can have time travel aspects, but not to become just one time travel show and everything is connected and everything is intertwined. Please no. Just once again remember Ethan's words about the Lake of Tears. So the fairies from the Lake of Tears can actually bring somebody back to life? Fingers crossed, can it possibly be Jim? I don't know who are the fairies in this situation. Maybe it's the evil fairies that everybody's speculating that the monsters are. I hope not, and I think not. I can almost be confident that it's not the situation. It looks like the fairies are supposed to be good in the story of Ethan, and looks like his story is pretty much on point here. So whoever this is, whoever those spirits are, maybe this is the boy in white, maybe there is something else, but definitely you need to break the curse somehow. You need to destroy this evil spirit that holds those souls here, and by releasing the Ankui children you will destroy this whole place. You will destroy the spider, you will destroy the Lake of Tears, you will destroy Fromville, and it will allow our heroes to actually travel from this place and escape, and everybody who died here actually move on to the next phase. Now there is a synopsis in one of the episodes. Ethan and Victor are actually gonna go on an adventure, and as we can probably assume here already, this is gonna be an adventure to find the Lake of Tears. And why Victor? Not only because he's Ethan's friend, it's also because in the vision that Ethan had, he was seeing Victor's drawings. And since Victor drew already the Lake of Tears, he's supposed to have seen it. He knows where it is, or at least how it's supposed to look. Now, we always kind of thought that maybe this drawing is the Lake of Tears. It kind of looked like it. There is this drawing of the spider that came down from the ceiling and somebody screamed, but maybe this drawing, that it's in a very bad quality, and we can see that there is some kind of a body of water and something that looks like a portal of some sort, and there's actually a boat that is getting closer to this portal. I mean, this is probably the only way to escape this place, to find the Lake of Tears, to meet all the souls that are there, that are waiting to go to the next phase. Talk to them, get an understanding how you destroy this man in yellow, how you destroy the curse, how you actually free the spirits of the Ankui children, because they are the ones who power this place. Their hope and their despair is the main battery. I mean, everybody else is too, they arrive in with their hope and they also feed this forest, but mainly it's all based on the Ankui children. And you need to save them by going to the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is the only place that can show you every location. This is the tallest place there, and you can see exactly where this is. So what needs to happen is that Tabitha, maybe with Jade, most likely with Ethan, possibly with Julie, they need to get up on the lighthouse, and only in this situation the lighthouse will reveal them where is this Lake of Tears. How do you find this location? I think this is exactly what's gonna happen close to the end of this season, maybe in the beginning of the next one. Now obviously I can be wrong, I don't want to be one of those people that I'm gonna be completely right, but I still like this theory. It works in my head, it works with everything that I know about this place. I don't see that many contradictions, but if you do, you're more than welcome to write me in the comments. And I'm pretty sure I will probably revise some of the moments here in this video with new episodes coming out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to thank everybody who supports me on Patreon, on YouTube here with members. I can see new people arriving. I really want to welcome everybody, and I want to say to everybody, thank you so much. Your support means a lot to me. This is my biggest motivation. Not just the money, but the fact that you are putting your trust in me. It gives me a lot of motivation and a lot of responsibility. I want to be able to say that I actually worth it. I actually deserve what I'm getting. So it kind of raises the standard for me every time, and hopefully you are satisfied with my videos. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Meanwhile, bye.